Hey guys, so yeah, I'm now debugging some interesting problem with the CRDT in the agent doc. So basically, I'm kind of really in the thick of the debugging. So I figured, I should have jumped in probably like a little while ago, but now's as good a time as any. So basically, here's my agent doc, and it's my agent doc debugging agent doc. So now I'm having a few issues. So one issue was I got a duplicate. So I wrote a command and I got a duplicate response of the same command. So I ran agent doc compact over here, um, and it popped in twice. And you don't see it now in this document because it actually ran the compact and that cleaned up everything. But I guess you're gonna have to trust me. I'm not going to show you the Git history, but it did duplicate it. So that's one of the issues we're kind of going through right now. And as you can see, it's replacing. So it kind of like has a good analysis of what's going on. So yeah, so we also have this append mode versus template mode. Append mode is like how I started off this project, where just always appended the responses to the bottom of the document. But with template mode, you can actually set different components within a document, and you can like sort of section off where you want things. So this whole area is in an exchange component, and whoops, looks I'm going too far up. So here's the beginning of the exchange. Looks like we have a history component over here, and yeah, so here's our exchange section. This is the bottom of it, and this is kind of like meant to be like, okay, you get the response, and you can also put inline replies or inline prompts within the response area. So one thing also I want to mention about template mode is I am going to support real-time feeds as well. So this will be like a true dashboard in a document format. So like we can have like full-on real-time like updates going on, but I'm not quite there yet. Still need to do some, obviously get the CRDT nailed down, and probably like tighten up some other things. But and right now there's like a 200 millisecond poll, which I'm not like super happy with. I mean, I guess it's okay. Maybe it is the right way to poll 200 milliseconds, but I would like it to be like fully reactive. Personally, that's kind of what I'm feel like I'm going for. Is I guess as long as it's not too frequent. Maybe if it's like super frequent, we should poll. But if for the most part, like yeah, it probably should just be reactive. But 200 milliseconds is a good enough approximation for now for the poll. So we'll just run with that. And Claude really wanted us to poll whatever because it would be too complicated. But yeah, okay, whatever. So but we'll make it reactive soon. So anyways, yeah, so I'm going through this. Yeah, oh yeah, the other issue that's been really nagging me, like for I don't know how many releases I've attempted to fix this problem, but we have when there's like a document that has a stale claim on it, meaning that the document was opened in the previous session, and then we try to call run on it, it then gives like this. Well, it has two problems. I'm saying it down here. The first thing is when you call run, it doesn't change the tmux session. It doesn't update the tmux session with, sorry, the tmux pane with the Claude session that is actually running that command. And the second problem is, okay, then I switch from, okay, so I was in Gmail, I ran run, it didn't like refresh this side, and then I switched over here to agent doc, and then it refreshed everything, so it did the right behavior there. But then the problem is that it didn't actually run the command, the agent doc run in here of of the Gmail in here. So basically what I did was I copied the entirety of this pane over here. So I'm, and this is kind of like a bunch of like old stuff. So the other thing is I added stream mode recently. So stream mode's a little different because with stream mode we need one Claude session per document, and that's it. With like batch mode, with like template mode or append mode, which are basically both batches, you could multiplex multiple documents in a single Claude session. But so that's kind of like what we're seeing here, is that we are actually seeing a multiplex of all these different documents within the session. But with stream mode, that'll be cleaned up to where it'll be one document per Claude session. But anyways, we didn't run. What should have been called was agent doc run, and then it should have been tasks gmail.md. This is what should have happened. It should have just popped in right over here like this, but that didn't happen. So and this, basically the reason why is because the bug where Gmail was stale, so all this front matter, this session was wrong, and I'm not sure exactly what the issue is, because I'm a vibe coder, and I don't really know what's going on. So I gotta probably manually debug this thing, because something is off. So I'm kind of in the middle of manually debugging. Well, I mean, Claude's assisting me in manually debugging. So I'm paying a little bit more attention to the source code now, because it's been a little. It wasn't a quick fix. The Claude couldn't figure it out on its own. So, anyways, here's the other thing I've been having is your message was cut off. This happens every once in a while. So I guess I said, what should we do with? And it got cut off. Basically, it did the diff too early. So I'm hoping to nudge it to have a heuristic to where if it notices like a cutoff like this, it'll maybe try again, or something like that. But so I think that I gotta keep on going down those. So anyways, so you can see that in this document I've had like a multitude of different issues, and what is kind of cool about this is I can start to fix them all more or less in single passes. So we can actually kind of parallelize a little bit, or asynchronize, or I guess our efforts based off of fairly complicated issues. And so how effective is it? Obviously in the case of the some of these recurring issues, like the stale claim, auto claim, hasn't been effective yet, but now I'm starting to dig in a little bit deeper, and basically the strategy I'm going to do is I'm going to start adding more logging, and also just start to go through a process of elimination, also simplification of the path, the code, the path of run, agent doc run. It was a little complicated, like they had some duplicate code, so we removed that in the previous version that we released, and we're also simplifying the path a little bit. So anyways, okay, so it looks like I found a root cause for the CRDT base state, runs extracted. Okay, blah 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 blah. Just stale, most of the user seeing content, sees two independent clients. Okay, so looks like we got this here. So looks like they, if ours versus, okay, so they got some logic here. Both share, then ours is instead. So it picks one, and I guess I should probably take a peek at it. Personally, I haven't really been peeking at it too much. All the diffs over here, like whatever it does, I just kind of been trusting Claude. But now things are starting to, I'm getting recurring issues, so I gotta probably step in a little bit more than I usually do. But I mean, for the most part, Claude's pretty good about making these changes and fixing things, or like making sure things work properly. But in this case, it ain't quite cutting it. So okay, so it looks like this is where we do this merge. Where's this merge used? All right, so it's a test. Maybe I gotta get all these tests, or what do we got here? Okay, so we're just a bunch of tests. Okay, here we go. Merge content CRDT. Okay. All right, so this is like really my first like real like debug where I had to use bookmarks using Claude, because normally Claude just has been taking care of this stuff, but obviously I'm not like super. Here, let me just do this. Super advanced with this yet. This is a pretty sophisticated problem that we're hitting right now. So yeah, I gotta kind of start to bookmark this. So apply. So here's one thing that I'm a little concerned about is that, yeah, we got some dead code here. So now we can say, so tell me more about why is it dead code? What is it supposed to be used for? Okay, it's used by recover to apply orphaned. I see. I should put these 3 slashes to give a little more oh no. Uh-oh. Okay, now I'm dumb because how do I escape backticks? Excuse me. Okay, this is what I'll do. Oh, excuse me. Getting over a cold here. Kind of a nasty cold, but okay, so thank God markdown has block comments. Saved my butt here. Okay, so we got this over here, used by recover. So please, so yeah, because I'm using Claude, I'm not like super intimate with all this code and the entire feature set. I think recover has to do with recovering from I guess a stale state is recover used for stale state to use to is recovery used to mitigate stale state, a stale claim. And this is kind of where domain-driven development is super powerful. Is once we nail down this terminology, and we have like precise terms that we are expressing to LLM, and also thinking and expressing in our own language, that this is where, yeah, it's very helpful to really be precise. Precise with all this. So I'm actually working on a project called Existence Lang, which basically, we have an ontology. We just treat, like each term in the ontology has its own markdown file, and Existence Lang actually starts from a scope of all of existence. So, we kind of treat like a kernel of terms as sort of this thing that we can kind of work, basically work from, and then we can down scope it. We can scope it, zoom in and scope it for just to kind of, for like projects or, even functions, or basically whatever, we want to, whatever we want to talk about. We have some sort of implicit scope. So yeah, anyways, back to here. But more to come on that. That's still, I'm still getting through agent doc. So okay, how do we, so we got this over here. So back over here. Okay, so we got this. I think we got E. Okay, so yeah, all right. Okay, D E C. Okay. And we have run stream. Okay. So we kind of had this like convergence of two different things through the recover and run stream. I really wish I had a map. So could you create a dot or a diagram of the call paths that converge to I guess I should go to my bookmark over here to merge. And again, this is like where Agent Doc is really good, is sort of this deep like inquiries and analysis. Because yeah, if I just kept on like running, you know, prompts in here, like I would just be lost personally. Like, you know, we'd be like having a conversation and talking about like 5 different things, and the LLM would get confused and all that. So the nice thing about Agent Docs is we can kind of like stop time and look at this really complicated set of problems and start to really analyze it. And you know, sometimes it's useful to really treat all these problems together, because there might be some underlying systemic issues that we can kind of address. Anyways, so yeah, so that's kind of like why I like to work with the complexity, you know, in all of its Hydra glory, because sometimes, you know, you gotta deal with the Hydra. You know, you can't break off each scale. You just gotta deal with the heads, and maybe you can just maybe there's like a branch of heads. So maybe 2 or 3 heads will all branch off from the same neck or something, and then you just cut off that one neck, and boom, you got 3 heads. You know, who knows? Or, you know, maybe you just go crazy, but hopefully not the latter. Yeah, so okay, good idea. Oh, ooh, thank you, Claude. I like it when you compliment me. Makes me feel so good. Cut off. Okay, so I don't know what you're talking about though. So I guess this is kind of like an issue, is we lose a little bit of like what are we talking about. But oh yeah, so right, the cutoff message heuristic. So I think this has to do with my suggestion of trying again. What should we do with? And then this is what I added right here. Can we build a heuristic? So okay, so maybe what I should do is just bring it down here, just so it's like a little bit more, like it makes a little bit more sense, and I can like format this. So the nice thing about Claude is that like I can start making changes like this, and even though it shows up in the diff, it should get it. It should like figure out, hey, he's just reformatting stuff, and you know, maybe I'm not claiming it's going to be perfect right now, especially because I haven't really done anything with the skills or, you know, anything to clue Claude in that I'm doing this sort of editing. But you know, it's good for us right now, and I think it might just take like a couple cycles and it'll just get figured out. It'll get sorted out. All right, so good idea. If the last non-white space character before blah 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 is the midword, is potentially truncated, or check the last line. Okay, so we're getting options. So I say yes, definitely, and if I can spell definitely correctly, and oh god, I gotta. This is one thing that's annoying about JetBrains, is sometimes like I gotta do the mouse thing now. No. Okay. Well, all right. I'll just live with the bad spelling. JetBrains, if you're watching, please make this a little bit easier, because I don't want to have to fix all my other problems before I get to whatever priority this is at. But you know, I kind of just want to fix. You know, I'm a little anal about the spelling. and I also misspell things a lot, so it's like a double whammy right there. But yeah. All right. So or check if the last word ends without a new line. Maybe. I don't know. Sometimes you don't want that, or I'd say maybe, but not really a high priority. Let's say. Oh no, I started Claude here. I'd say no. I mean, don't do this unless the sentence or unless the statement is obviously not complete. You can also check the document again, perhaps, to see if more is added to that line. After a short delay, to see more is added to that line. Maybe we should do that. That might be, yeah. We'll see how that goes. We'll see how that feels. It might suck, but I think, it seems legit. All right, so implementation options. In diff rs, after comparing diff, check last line looks incomplete. Blah, blah, blah. Warning, it may be truncated. Okay. What do we got here? Okay, so it hasn't done it yet. Okay. Why not? So this should cause a delayed recheck. So like a double tap. Like a double tap. To get the rest of this sentence. If the sentence is still being typed, keep on rechecking. At the end of the sentence, recheck one last time to ensure that more content is not added to the line. This might be a little tricky because so this is kind of like, we can say so if the editing goes to the next line, enter was pressed, what do you think we should do? Let's say present some options what can be done. So I mean, this is kind of like, maybe we should think about this a little bit more, because yeah, you're typing, and then like, let's say I'm like here, let's say I'm like over here, right? I'm typing, and then I do run, and then I type some more, or like maybe I'm like, I hit run, I'm typing, and it caught this, and then I'm typing some more, and it caught the rest of this, and then I hit enter, and then I'm still typing in. I guess I should wait, huh? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess I should probably wait, but then at some point, I might just want to like say, that's it. Like, just accept this line as is, and you can pick it up on the next edit. I think we should just cut off this particular this diff at the end of the line and save the next lines for the next run. Okay. Yeah, I'll just hopefully we're not gonna blow Claude's mind with all this, because this is particularly involved, and I'm glad I'm doing a video for this. All right, so in skill MD, instruct Claude to detect incomplete messages and ask the user to complete them for responding. Okay. To detect incomplete. I guess so. I would say follow the recheck, the chain of delayed rechecks until we hit a terminal case. Then use that diff. If agent doc handles this entirely, agent doc can block until the rechecks, the chain of rechecks are complete. I think that's fair. Alright, in the binary, agent.diff, check truncation flag that returns a special exit code. Okay, I guess they added that. I have no idea why. I guess that means... Right. I don't think that's necessary. You know, with the chain of delayed rechecks, does not seem. Do you agree? Okay. All right. Option 2 is zero code. Want me to add skill MD? Okay. Okay. Where's option 2 now? Oh God. So I want to have a disclaimer out there. This chaos is not normal. Okay, I think this is it right here. This is where I got thrown off. Okay, we want option 1. That's what this is. These are 3 different options. We want option 1. So we want option 1, the chain of rechecks. All right, let's do this. All right. Really interested in seeing what happens from all this. We're gonna get a big mess. Is it gonna be pandemonium? We'll see. All right, we got 3 bashes. What's going on here? Call recover 3 times. 3 background tasks. That's weird. I should probably copy that. So this is kind of where the dog fooding comes in. Not sure why we are doing this. So there are 3 recovery bashes in, for this file. Why? We might hit another bug here. Uh-oh. So just notice I can just run this again and it'll just kind of pick it up. So this is kind of like the dynamics part of like agent doc that I'm really trying to nail down right now. Yeah, because right now it's like it would be great to just keep on running this, and I think that really the root cause of needing to do this is that yes, there is a delay in Claude doing its thing and getting the results back to the document. It needs to go through its chain of reasoning. Sometimes it takes a few minutes. Like in this case, we're almost at 2 minutes here, and I'm still like writing stuff in the document, and it'll pick it up. And sometimes it loses things though, so it's not perfect, but it usually does a fairly good job in weaving it all together. Okay. But when it goes like 8, 9 minutes, 10 minutes, if we're like implementing some sort of big refactor or rewrite or big feature, then that could be, then that's kind of like where it's just like, okay, do something else. But I'm kind of keeping this open right here because I have an error state with Gmail, and I'm just trying to like, yeah, just trying to fix that. So, all right. So, yeah. All right. Sift. Sift is a cool project. Shout out to Alex for making Sift. It's like a cool search tool, and it like creates like vectors and all that. It's super fast. I want to use Sift, and I think there's a lot of good integrations I can do, like with TagPath. So TagPath is sort of this library that you can take all these different like code styles, like like snake case or Pascal case or whatever, and it'll like take each like segment of the name and it'll turn it into this one-dimensional vector, and from it you can kind of get some semantic meaning from that. And like from a really obvious standpoint is I can just like type in, like, let's say I have like user ID, I can just type in user space ID, and then TagPath will then like use tree sitter to go across your JavaScript code base and your Python code base or your Rust code base or whatever, and find all the different like styles that you use. And you can also like configure it too, so you don't have to like follow the canonical style for a programming language. You can have your own style, and I actually have my own style with JavaScript and TypeScript that I like to use, but it's not conventional. I really like the snake case, so. And of course that agent doc and Quirky. So basically, fast semantic search that is integrated with the LLM would be amazing once I kind of get some bandwidth to play around with this. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. And yeah, what's cool is that I can kind of like talk to him, and yeah, I'm one of those guys who uses the LLM to craft my responses because I'm not a very good writer. My prose is a little too punchy for a lot of people, and a lot of people don't like, they get turned off by how I write. So I found that that Claude really helps me out with this to kind of express myself in a way that is a little bit more palatable by people. Yeah, I'm kind of like, maybe I'm handicapped in that way. I'm challenged. I'm linguistically, I'm prosaically challenged here, and charismatically challenged perhaps. But Claude's got my back, so it's been a blessing to me. I know that some people really, I know Hacker News just says you can't use the LLM to talk on the forums because we want to hear the real you, but Hacker News does not want to hear the real me. They downvote me when I express myself. So I think I'm doing everybody a favor by using Claude more when I talk online. But that's just my opinion. Yes, I can learn how to talk properly, but I'm 40 something years old now and I haven't learned it yet, and I'm beginning to become too old to learn new shit like this, I guess. So, maybe not. Maybe I'm just deliberately restricting myself, but I used to be a very nice guy, and I used to measure all my speech and be extremely polite, but I found that people just walked all over me when I did that, and I haven't really discovered the middle ground yet very well. So, everybody's got their challenges, and this has been my challenge. And actually, communication is something like I actually got into philosophy for this reason of being able to express intent. And maybe this might be actually a blessing in disguise, and we'll see with existence laying, for example. But, anyways, back to this issue. All right, so Claude finished after 5 minutes. It looks like I was ranting for that long. Thank you, Claude, for giving me the space. All right. So why pen mode? Yeah, so why are we doing a pen mode? We should be doing template mode. This is intentional. Oh, okay. Itself is a stream which controls remix as well. So Claude is disobeying me here. So should use template mode by default. In fact, this file uses template mode. I mean, yeah, so it is, I guess, uses the template format. So we have, okay, so we have maybe ambiguity with agent doc mode. Here is what I propose. We currently have, here's what I propose. Agent doc mode has two choices. Okay, maybe I want to like not restrict to agent doc mode. Maybe I want to say we have two categories. We have two categories. Category 1, we have stream, and we have batch. Category 2, we have template, and we have append. So I think we're going to be going through some sort of, this might be a big release actually, because now we're going to probably need to split up agent doc mode. Maybe we don't even use agent doc mode anymore. Maybe we need to come up with a good name for category 1 and category 2. So, agent doc mode is, I made agent doc mode because back in a few releases ago, we only had template and append. But now we have streaming, so now we have streamer batch, and now we have template and append. So so please propose. So agent doc mode was doing double duty for category 1 and 2. So please propose names for category 1 and 2. So I say config names for category 1 and category 2. Okay. All right. So how much of this do we got? We got, oh, this is a long one. So looks like it's getting a lot of this. So this is, I guess this is again kind of the power of agent doc, or maybe the nightmare of agent doc. Is that yes, you can have very complicated backs and forths now. So you cannot do this with just a single prompt at a time. This ain't gonna work. So anyways, yeah. So we got, okay. Tmux didn't refresh. So this is the stale claim problem that we've been dealing with for like a few probably almost like 10 versions. I've attempted just to have Claude fix this like a few times, like I would say close to 10 times, and it has not succeeded at this yet. So, or it did succeed once, but it completely like borked my environment where it would like shut down my tmux session entirely. So I had to revert that, and that got fixed. So, but now it don't work anymore. So okay, so looks like it's got an auto start race. Okay, so yeah, it's been saying this for a little bit, so I'm a little skeptical. It could be a race. I mean, that does seem like it could be, but it also might be upstream too, and I'm not entirely sure. So let's just kind of explore this a little bit. Okay, so we got run. So all right, so run with tmux and run. All right, how many places call run? So this is actually a very linear path. So it looks like this is just the command run. Agent.run calls route run. Okay, and we call run with tmux. Okay, so this is fairly simple. The auto start race. Oh, wait, so all I'm doing is just going into this. So auto start. Okay. All right. So I have A. Let's just make this B, because I already know that it's just linear, so I don't really need to sweat going back. Okay. So what is going on? All right. Auto start. New pane. So what must be happening is when we eventually shell out somewhere, there's a race condition that's that seems like, yes, that could be happening. And I guess, see, I'm not a Rust expert. You know, I'm a vibe Rust dude. So excuse me if I'm not like up with the async with Rust, but it doesn't seem like this is async. So we should probably make this async, I would think. I know that people freak out about async Rust, and I would normally be scared, but because Claude is responsible for all this, I'm not as scared. So let's say, should this be async? Should async to handle the race conditions. Can we have the async loop block until the Claude session is confirmed available before async steps are complete, before moving on, such as the tmux window, tmux pane starting, and being attached. I would say the tmux pane being attached to the correct location. Because yeah, these are panes. We swapped the panes in and out. I guess this is to the correct tmux window position, I guess. I don't know what this slot is. Maybe I should call it tmux position slot. The Claude session is confirmed, running, and available. Oh my god, what am I doing? And what's the next thing? I guess we do the send. Send was successfully sent? I don't know. I don't know if we need a block on that. I guess so. I guess if necessary. All right. Okay. So okay, let me just get rid of my stuff because Claude was trying to say something here, and I'm just like typing away. Okay, route detected missing pane. Auto started new Claude session. Okay, that makes sense. Route printed. Wait for Claude to start. Then route again. Put the plugin caller, but the plugin caller did not reroute, so the Claude session just sat idle. All right. I'm not. I guess this is kind of where async might just help avoid all these like weird like corner cases here. I'm just hoping that we can really simplify this. All right. So this is kind of a maybe a little bit of a Hail Mary a bit. You know, I'm a little like, this is definitely vibe coding here. This is just throwing some spaghetti at the wall here at this point, but we'll see if something sticks. I think this is a little bit more likely to stick. So this might be sticky spaghetti versus like just dry noodles that we were throwing before. All right, so the route logging, okay, we'll just show this flow, blah blah blah. Ready. So apply stream from Spring. Okay, dead code. Okay. This recovery handles append and template modes. Okay, so this is going to be the batch category. So this is for the batch or stream, the batch category. I guess this will be, was it category 1? Batch from category 1 for batch in category 1. This will be for batch in category 1. Okay. Not related to stale claims. Okay. Recover handles interrupted writes, not stale routing, different problem domains. Not related to stale claims. Okay, so what are we talking about? Apply stream for strings, not stale. It handles write, not stale routing. All right, so this is apply stream from string. Okay. All right, so I guess this is just for the batch, and it's not stale. I think that's kind of not really what it's for. All right, so thank you. Recovery phase running. If there are multiple agent doc tasks, invocations are queued up. Each invocation is pre-flight. They submitted multiple times, quick succession, which we can do, or previous cycles incomplete. The recovery backups, they're harmless, but we have 4 now. Okay. But we now have 4 bashes, and there is no activity in the Claude session. So, meaning the previous command, previous run has completed. I guess I'll... seems that we have a leak of these tasks. Okay, we have a task leak. Oh, wonderful. Ah, yes. All right. So, okay, so, well, so yeah, we're kind of shoving this to the next round. So we got more things to deal with in this round. So CRDT merge. Okay, this is a cool diagram. We got the merge. We got the merge content CRDT, and here we got the write, recover, and stream. Interesting. Skill write, recover, and stream. I have no idea what skill write does. Let me. I guess I should. There is no skill right. Like, what the hell is it talking about? What the hell? What is... Okay. Maybe it's like a common path, I guess. I wonder if, like... No, it doesn't. Okay. Cool. Alright, cool. I'm glad that the autocomplete didn't, like... Oh, look at that. Autocomplete only works when it's on its own line. I guess that makes sense. Right? Does that make sense? Oh. I guess... Spoke too soon there. Let's see. Yeah, there you go. So, is this... Yeah, look at that. So it only works when it's on its own line. I'm not sure yet. I think that I don't like that, but we'll deal with it for now. Agent doc, skill, and we have check, and we have install. Skill, check, and install. So let's put these here, otherwise it's going to execute them, which we don't want. Alright, agent doc recover. I guess I gotta check for hallucinations, I guess. In agent doc stream. Is not in the auto completes. Alright, so they all converge. Okay. I'm not really... I guess I'll explain what's going on there. Added delay recheck. Okay, cool. Here's a chain of rechecks. Our recheck chain. Awesome. I guess 500 milliseconds. Maybe... Why not 200 milliseconds? Why not 200 milliseconds? Just like... some other poll we're doing. I don't remember what poll we're doing. Just like the timer thread. Excuse me. Uh-oh. What am I doing? What is this timer thread? Timer thread. Just like the... timer thread. In stream mode. If content change, recheck again. Okay. I guess this would be, if it's 200 milliseconds, that would be 2 seconds total. I don't think we should have a max, because you could type for more than 5 seconds or 2 seconds. We should not have a max. we should just wait until a terminal condition the oh, I guess if I would say, oh, yeah, I guess the terminal condition is 10 rechecks, nothing changes. So yeah, I guess we want the max. You're right, Claude. You're right. Except since, okay, say if we change the period, make sure that we have n rechecks adding up to 5 seconds. Okay. All right, looks truncated. Heuristic. Line is not truncated if empty or white space. Yeah, I guess so. Starts with slash header. So line is not truncated. Okay, got it. Got it. Single word, less than 3 characters, or greater than equal to 3 characters. Release and let. Okay. But what if I say the? I guess or an, or go. What if I say go? That should be go should work. That should mean go. That should mean go. Do it. Continue, you know. Alright, ends with terminal punctuation. Okay, yeah, fair enough. Otherwise, it's potentially... Oh, I suppose go is potentially... I guess go would not be considered potentially truncated. Okay. Correct. All right. Good. We don't need it. 13 new tests. Okay. I guess we added those. All right. Cool. All right. We're going to run this. This might take probably less than 5 minutes. Less than 5.5 minutes, but it'll still take a little bit. It looks like we're kind of fanning in a little bit. Oh no, we got this category thing going on. Shoot, this might take a bit of time. Oh, we're just naming things, so the implementation will take a while, I'm sure, because that would be a major change, but maybe proposing names will be a little bit quick. All right, so I guess while it's doing its thing, maybe we can talk story a little bit more. Let's see what we got. Yeah, so I guess I can show existence laying, or I don't know, maybe I have my philosophy over here. Got all sorts of my ontology. This is like my homespun ontology of. I wrote this in like 2015, and it's like, I'm like, I'm not. I kind of like the esoteric, universal, like, I don't know. I think my whole premise was existence is God. So that was my presence. And what existence means is not like constrained to like, does it physically exist, or is this like a real thing that has happened? No, that real is different from existence. Existence is a concept. So the fairy tale, like the tooth fairy exists in this nomenclature because it's a concept that we're talking about, and just because it's an idea, it exists. It's like software. It's like, does code exist? Yes, it does, in my opinion. Oh God. Uh, Sorry about that. Let's see. So, yeah. All right, we're still going. Uh, yeah. So that's kind of my thing. So basically, the reason why I have, okay, here's existence. Here's the big term I have. So, the reason why I have this philosophy is because I want to be able to describe anything in existence. So you gotta like start with the whole big picture, the universal set of everything of existence, the universal set, right? That's what existence is, right? Except it's also includes itself too, because the universal set is part of existence, and so it's like one of those recursive things going on there. So it's like not this neatly encapsulated concept. It's very messy and very recursive, and it also includes the unknown unknowns too. So yeah. Uh, that's also what I'm positing that exists as well, is the things that had never been thought of before, and maybe will never ever be thought of, that also exists in this realm. So it's sort of like this conceptual, like everything that could possibly exist, what people would say possibly exists, that exists. That's just part of existence. So, yeah, it's a very broad term, and it's meant to be the universal set. So I guess just think of it that way. That's kind of what I feel like we have to start with in order to represent anything in a philosophy. So that's kind of what I have here. And then what I do is I do scoping. So let's say I have explicit scopes and implicit scopes. So explicit scopes is like, yeah, I define what the scope is of my particular so the idea is that all language on an ontology it's a pattern language. So we got the pattern expression, and yeah, I mean, yeah, here's my tautology. It's like, I'm sorry, I gotta use a tautology here because I'm not like smart enough to deal with this. I don't think anybody really is in this particular case. You gotta be kind of omniscient, and maybe even more than omniscient to be able to properly describe this. But yeah. But anyways, I'm just gonna use my tautology, and that's my symbol here. So my tautological expression of, oh God, leave me alone, please. Hold on, let me tell him I'm busy, because he's just gonna keep on calling me until I tell him I don't know, I'm busy. I'm gonna do it on my phone. Okay. So I have existence here. We're 6 minutes in. We're still going. So, anyways, we have scoping, implicit and explicit scoping. So, implicit scoping is like when you talk to people, and yeah, you got your guy saying, "Yeah, that doesn't exist." He's really means that, yeah, it doesn't really happen. The tooth fairy doesn't exist. Yeah, the tooth fairy. I have never seen a tooth fairy before, except maybe if I'm on a bender or something, or if I'm dreaming. But yeah, like in my waking lucid moments, I have never seen a tooth fairy, and thus I can probably say the tooth fairy doesn't exist, but that is really an implicitly scoped meaning of existence, meaning that it's part of physical existence and like some sort of like shared experience that we've all had. But anyways, Claude is done, so I guess I can jump back to Claude or jump back over here. We are done, and what we got here? Uh-oh, got another issue. I lost. So what should be happening is we should be getting like a get, like, you know, like it hasn't been committed yet, but it looks like it committed. And what's annoying about that is that now I have to like sift through all this and figure out where do we leave off. So fortunately, okay, here we go. So it looks like it's okay. So okay, category 1 and category 2. Okay, so let's make the Z. All right, so good analysis. Thank you. Right timing. And document format. Okay, so agent doc write and agent doc format. I guess that is okay. Yeah. So alias write, and format. I think we should do that too, because people might not want to write the whole thing, you know. I'm pretty pedantic. I like to, this is part of my scoping, you know, my whole explicit scoping I like to do. But yeah, you know, so this would be an explicit scope, and this would be implicitly scoped, because what you kind of know is because this is an agent doc. So if we're an agent doc, we can just implicitly infer that we use write, and the write is in this case a stream, and format is templates, right? Yeah. So, but I generally prefer explicit scoping because explicit scoping is composable, and you know, it will just work in more circumstances. Sometimes you can have a collision if agent doc is used for something else, but for the most part, that is not the case. So for practical reasons, this is unique. All right. Current agent doc mode stream would become. Yep. Seems good to me. Stays backward compatible. Okay, so cool. I like that. Should block until each step completes. Agent, sorry. Okay, good. Okay, so hopefully that'll fix our bug here. You know, hopefully. I've been saying hopefully a lot, but at least we're one step closer if it doesn't fix it. Or we've eliminated possibilities of, you know, and we can explore other possibilities. All right, background task leak, 4 active shells. Yes. Oh, now it's 5. As you can see here, we got 5 bashes now. Recover command is a pre-flight. Blah, 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 blah. Fix. Run recover in foreground. Okay, yes. Yes, I guess it'll delay things a bit. Well, okay, so if we, okay. What exactly does recover do? Recover cat claims log and truncate. But why is this taking so long? Like, why is taking so long? Should it like end sooner? Do all of the steps need to be done all for every run? Can we have conditions? Maybe I'm asking the wrong set of questions here. Why is blocking? Please describe the intent behind this sequence. Maybe I'll just not suggest anything. Doesn't exist. The autocomplete entry is stale. Commands generate from the list. If skill right isn't a real subcommand, it shouldn't be an autocomplete. Let me check. Yeah, but autocomplete didn't suggest that, so maybe Claude got confused. So oh no, it doesn't exist. So in this case, yes, we are implicitly scoping the term of existence to not exist, meaning it doesn't exist in this set of instructions. But in reality, in the existence lang, it does exist because we're talking about it, and that is obviously a case of existence. Even if we weren't talking about it, it's too complicated to talk about. It still exists, but yeah, but we are implicitly scoping. So you gotta like implicitly scope to be practical here. This is like really pi in is existence sort of talking here. This is like God's language we're talking about, and we're not God, or we are God, we're part of God, but yeah, we're not really the entirety of God, so we don't really need to always talk God's language, I suppose. But yeah, anyways, so yeah, we can be scoped here. It's okay, but yeah, anyways, okay, doesn't exist. Is not, I would say, is not in the autocomplete. See, and that's kind of interesting as well, as I can like be a little bit more precise about this too. Yeah, so because like existence is, in my opinion, ambiguous because of the implicit scoping. Yeah, that's kind of a problem with implicit scoping, is there is ambiguity that gets introduced with that, and you can have double meanings where somebody says one thing and they like they're two-faced, right? That two-faced behavior in language can happen due to implicit scoping, where the listener may not get the full context of the talker in that sense, and sometimes that could be, and then the person says, well, I told you so, I said the words, but the context wasn't shared, so there was some deception or something going on. And deception doesn't necessarily have to be like intentional, but it could still happen. Miscommunication, right? Anyways, so yeah, so agent doc stream is not in autocomplete. Stream is release show me autocomplete. Okay, so I guess I gotta reinstall this plugin. I guess I'll just, all right, go truncated, no go is a single word, characteristic truncated. It would be flagged as truncated. So Huh. Okay, so I guess that begs the question, what about one character words like I, A, B, C? I mean, I would say one character words can also be legit, such as when asked option A or option blah. Damn you. This is where my option B. B. B should mean option B is selected. So propose a system that would work in this case. Okay. So yeah, again, like we're like having like full on like I would say relevant discussions here with Agent Doc, you know, and I would find this to be very difficult to do, if not impossible, if we're just doing one prompt at a time over here. So, you know, I think this really opens up the whole like alignment between the human and the LLM. You know, there's probably a bunch of like issues that people just struggle with in getting that alignment that just kind of go away when you're just from the interface. And I'm not saying it solves all the problems, but it probably solves a lot of problems. And we're also working on we're going through rounds, and in each round we are addressing multiple issues, and sometimes we'll fan out, sometimes we'll fan in with the issues. So um and it I don't know, we might have like lost an issue, but because I'm dog fooding and we're iterating, I'm confident that if I lost something, it'll come up again. So, you know, so here's the other thing is that like it seems like a lot of people are really obsessed with like one-shotting features and one-shotting whole systems, and you know all the benchmarks are all about the one-shot thing, you know, but I don't really believe that one-shotting is the end goal. I really feel like it's really about iterating, and even if you like one-shot it, the universe, I one-shot the universe, all of existence, you're not going to get like alignment, because human alignment, because the human is not involved with the one shot. They're just trying to specify everything to the T in all cases, and all like the whole graph of specifications. And I guess you can have alignment there as long as you do it right, but it seems like it'd be pretty hard to do it right for even a semi-complicated system. I guess it's possible, but at that point you're developing software trying to get the specification graph correct. But you know, maybe it's like you can prove it or something, but then it's like, yeah, you gotta do some formal spec language and get that provably correct. And yeah, I'm not really like, I never got into mathematical proofs. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not like inclined to be intelligent in that way, I guess. But yeah, I like to iterate. You know, I like fast iterations. So that's kind of, and I feel like most people are the same way. It's like, you know, it's like the robot. You know, it's like getting the robot to walk, right? You get the robot to walk, and it's gonna like lean back and forth, and rather than having to like come up with some sort of like 20th order differential equation, you just use fuzzy logic and just lean one direction, you tilt the other way a little bit, and yeah, you kind of stabilize. You know, it's kind of like that sort of thing. So anyways, alias, write, and format. No, avoid aliasing. Oh, okay, I guess so. All right, fair enough. Yes, all right. Yes, explicit scoping. Yes, I agree. Recover claims like truncate blocking intent. There's a diff computation because they can change the document. All right, recover may write a pending response to the file. Diff before recovery, we compute against a document that it's about to change, cause missed or double responses. Claims log read. Informational record in the Claude session of IDE triggered claims. Provides routing context and truncate. Clears the log after reading. Okay. Blocking nature also fixes the background task leak from earlier running recover in the background caused by orphan bash shells to accumulate across agent doc cycles. Alright, so I guess I should run this synchronously is what I'm gathering. Seems like this should be synchronous, but I don't like adding around 100 milliseconds latency to each run. Is there a better way? Okay. Single character input B as a valid choice. As a valid choice selection. Okay, yes. Looks truncated. Yes. Okay, so it works, but it adds needless delay. Alphanumeric singles are never duplicated. Single are never truncated. Okay. I guess that makes sense, but what if we have a race condition to where I am typing A and that's it? What if there is a race condition where only the first were typed? Just ignore and catch and get the rest of the diff in the next run. I mean, to me, that seems okay. I guess, well, please, it seems okay to me, but I may be missing an issue with this approach. Please analyze. Alright, this handles, okay, blah, 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 blah. Alright, it's now, okay. So looks truncated, now empty, not truncated. Alright. Structural, not truncated. Okay, okay, alright, let's do the next round. So, I guess a disadvantage to using agent doc is that, yeah, you might lose a little bit of the, like, tracking all the different threads going on here as we go round by round, but so yes, that is an admitted disadvantage. If you used more of a formal document standpoint, you would have your graph in there and you would be tracking each branch of the graph, of the conceptual graph going on, but that's not how I roll right now. You know, maybe I will get there, but you know, I'm still like been doing this less than a month, so you know, I'm not quite at Ubermensch level of describing all of existence in my nice tidy graph here. I'm still exploring a lot and dealing with the grungy edge cases, and yes, maybe if I had the graph to begin with, I wouldn't have these edge cases. I would just have everything provably correct, and it would have just worked the first time. But no, I didn't even think about a lot of this stuff. This was not even like a thought in my head before. So you know, I had an ill-formed concept of what agent doc would be, and I iterated by how I've been using it and being the tester as well as the dog fooder, and that's how I learned. So booyah. Validated. even though I'm not Ubermensch spec guy coming up with all the permutations in my graph, in my document, where I can create my software factory that will create every single possible system from this branch, but it'll also be perfectly aligned with my intention because I have provably correct impulses here, and I know when to hit that button of when everything is complete and all that. Basically, yeah. Yeah, even though I'm not there yet, I guess I'm aspiring to get there, but I'm just doing it this way. Let's leave it at that. All right. All right. Truncation detection. All right. Only runs when the last line actually looks truncated. If blah, 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 blah. All right. It's kind of loosey goosey, but yeah. I guess the LLM probably has a good idea because it's got all of its vectors and all that, and its weights and biases, and yep, and its neural network or transformer or whatever it's using for this particular check. Okay. Only race condition. Okay, so most user inputs hit the fast path bypasses. The latency only kicks in for the rare edge case with the autosave catching a mid-stroke buffer. Yes, thank you. So I guess our synchronous strategy would work without adding much delay. So in the fast path, I should confirm this. In the fast path, best case scenario, how much latency is added? All right. Race condition, only first character typed. Okay. Scenario, autosave fires after user types B, first character of but wait. B is a single alphanumeric, bypasses truncation detection, processes immediately. Okay. Is this okay? Yes. Here's why. 1. The next run catches the rest. User continues typing, autosave, watch triggers, then diff sees a full sentence. Okay. And 2. This is actually rare. Requires editor autosave at 1 character point plus watch debounce, 500 milliseconds. Doesn't absorb subsequent saves, and the user pauses for more than 500 milliseconds after 1 character. Yes, yes, that would be a rare event. All right. 3. Debounce is the rare protection, the real protection. The watch daemon's 500 millisecond debounce means the file must be stable for half a second before triggering. Active typing gets absorbed. Okay. I'm now wondering whether or not I like debouncing or not, because 500 milliseconds debounce period adds latency, which if we were, let's do a little thought experiment here. If let's say we reduced it to 10 milliseconds, that's a crazy debounce, but let's say 100 milliseconds or 200 milliseconds. What are we debouncing? Watch debounce. Okay, I think watch debounce means I call run then run again. So I guess. All right. Let's table this. I'm gonna ask actually maybe I should ask a question now. All right. So with debounce, I don't want to add latency. Can we have the 500 millisecond debounce with optimistic concurrency? Meaning we speculative execute before the debounce, begin execution before the debounce period finishes. If there's, okay, if there, oh no, if there's a debounce hit, cancel execution. If there's a debounce miss, continue execution. Rerun with new diff. Would this strategy cost us much in terms of tokens? I doubt it. Probably will cost us 0 tokens, but doesn't hurt to ask. Manual submit has no erase. Agent doc is explicit. Whatever's in the file is intentional. Manual submit has no race. Oh, okay. Yeah. Alright. That's the fourth reason why this is cool. Okay. Edge case. User types B is a choice. And it is as follows. First run. Processes B, second gets the rest. Okay. But this requires typing B, pausing 5 milliseconds, never assuming, usually mid-word. Okay. Yes. Current design is correct. Okay. I guess we will continue to the next round. Alright, so this will be quick, but maybe I'll get a little more of my spiel of existence here. Yeah, so God, so I know we got atheists in the audience, but by definition, God exists. So sorry atheists, but your view of the existence also exists too, so it's all good. We don't have an existential crisis here, at least. So you're represented too, but you're just implicitly scoped. Your definition of God is implicitly scoped, and it is not this definition of God here, which is the universal set. Oh yeah, and God is existence too, because this is part of the universal set, and God is also encompassing of existence, I suppose, too. So yeah, that's kind of what I figured of how I got around like God in existence, or what God is, and proving God exists is that God is existence, and existence exists. So just like you got universal set, and the universal set is part of the universal set. Yeah, so we got that recursion thing going on here. Okay, back to agent doc. Fast path latency. Okay, 0.2 milliseconds total. All right, that is acceptable, I would say. 200 microseconds. That's pretty acceptable for a CLI interaction. Yeah, it's cool. All right, speculative execution debounce. Okay. Phase 1. Get our thing. Phase 2. Very costly. Okay. Phase 1 only wins, not worth the complexity. Probably true. Full speculation. Phase 1 and 2 wastes 1. Oh, okay. 1 to 5 cents. Okay, so I guess reactive stream mode, no debounce. Oh, I like that. I like how that sounds. All right, tell me more. So rather than debouncing, we have the Claude is proposing a reactive stream mode, no debounce. Okay, go on, Claude. With CRDT merge, debounce is a pre-CRDT protection. Okay, in stream mode, CRDT already handles concurrent edits. So, first file change goes to process immediately, 0 latency. Okay. 2, user keeps editing, CRDT merge handles it in the next flush. Okay. 3, no debounce, no cancellation, no wasted tokens. Alright, I guess that makes sense. So, one question I do have though is, maybe I'll just do this in here. Yes. Yeah, I'll do it here just to make my life a little bit more sane here. How does the next flush get folded into the run? No. Get folded into the agent loop. Please make a diagram. Yeah, because I kind of want to see this visually. All right. Watch daemon modes. Debounce, depend mode. Reactive mode. Okay. I'm going to say... Wait. Oh, token. Maybe higher. But no. Token cost slightly higher. May respond to partial input, but no wasted... Okay. Yeah. I think... yeah, I think the reactive is good. Yes. Yes. Go with recommendation. Okay. Alright, we're definitely fanning in. There's only like 3 things, and we definitely got rid of one. I think we're just really dealing with the diagram now, and then we can implement, I suppose, and then release. Yeah, so back to existence and God. Yes. So, and yeah, I know that this kind of goes against some notions of God, especially with, like, this is kind of more of a Gnostic, I would say, thing, or, you know, I have some other panpsychism, panexperiment. Okay, yeah, this is all kind of like pantheism. This is kind of Gnostic. So, I think I've definitely always kind of been in that camp. I really want to, like, be in the fold of, like, Christianity, but, like, the church, but now I'm kind of like, I feel like Jesus was different from the institution of the church, and I feel like the church kind of co-opted things a bit, and it's more of an imperial mechanism, and Jesus, I don't think, was really about empire so much. So yeah, but, you know, it is what it is, and, you know, maybe it's just like different stages too. You know, perhaps maybe Jesus is about empire given a certain set of circumstances too. So I'm not ruling that out, but I have kind of a distaste of empire because of all the problems that come with it. So, including the hypocrisies. So, yeah, but that's neither here nor there. You know, whatever. It's like nobody's perfect. Is any system ever really perfect? I mean, we just do the best we can, I guess. Hopefully we can improve, and we are humble enough to improve too. Okay, so user edits, file save, watch immediate no debounce, agent stream, read diff prompt to the document. Okay, so this is kind of like where we make sure things are, like, folded in properly, because we might be typing while we're getting a response back too. So you kind of gotta, like, that's what the CRDT is helping us with, and hopefully we nail that down so we don't get, you know, we're getting some sometimes we get duplicates, and hopefully this pass will fix all that. Send the Claude stream. User keeps editing. Okay. So CRDT three-way merge. Okay. Where's there's atomic write. Okay. After we do the merge. Okay. Stream complete. Final flush. Snapshot. 6, 7. Oh, we do atomic write to the document. I see. So yeah, you send the Claude. We do the merge through Claude, and then we get the agent stream. Here, let me make this bigger because user edits, agent stream, stream complete, final flush. So I guess the user stopped writing. Next edit, and then we do the news cycle. Thank you very much. All right, confirmed. Okay, so steps 5, detail, which is right here. This flush and three-way merge thing going on. Each 200 millisecond flush reads the current file with user edits. CRDT merge is agent output plus user edits against the baseline. Writes merge result automatically. All right, cool. Okay. I hope it works. seems right. All right. In theory, seems right. Watch daemon protection. Stream flushes trigger file changes, but existing loop prevention, convergence detection plus cycle counter prevents re-triggering during active streams. So I think this is the whole I forgot what I called it. The re-trigger, or the is that how I called it? Re-triggering. The re-trigger sequence where we're making sure we're not like ending in a mid sentence and trying to analyze a mid incomplete sentence. We protect against continuing while this is going on, and I guess we block. Okay. All right. Okay. So let's implement, and I like these lovely diagrams. I like the diagrams. Please add to the documentation. Make this somewhat, I would say, robust for changes to implementation. I mean, method names are okay as long as we update the method names when we audit docs. Okay. Implement. I should have said go. Oh no, I should have said go. All right. Engage. Warp engage. Okay, I expect this will take a while. So, yeah. So back to my spiel about existence and telling the atheists the errors of their ways. Oh, you don't know the definition of God and of existence. Oh, poor atheists. In your fedoras. Okay, I'm gonna stop. I don't want to be mean or whatever. Ruffle any feathers. This is just my view of things, and it just happens to work because I have utility for this. Like, this is really utilitarian here. This is like, I'm using this for something, and I'm using it to represent any concept. And yes, the tooth fairy is a concept that exists, and so is Santa Claus, and all these things. I have to be able to represent that. I can't just say, no, they don't exist. You can't possibly model it. Yes, they exist. I can model it. And including my definition of God, I can model it. And I can model your definition of God too. And I can represent it as a scope. And I can still use the same ontology with different scopes and different contexts too. So anyways, the ontology is a pattern of definitions that can be applied with context. So ontology plus context is meaning, and we can use things in our ontology here. So I just kind of like create this grab bag of different terms over here that I just kind of, and I basically just had it all formatted. So anyways, this is my philosophy. Yeah, I got my worldview here. Oh yeah, I got my Marxist stuff here. Yeah, and yeah. So, but now I want to, with the rise of LLMs and Claude Code and Codex and all the other goodies, I can turn this into executable code, I suppose. I mean, it's not quite there yet. I haven't quite imagined it yet, but I have made a language that we're working on. So, let's get the drum roll out. Existence lang. Yes, and we got a website. Oh, hey, yes. I agree with you, man. I agree with you. All right. So, existence lang. I got a website. Look at that. It's got a kernel, man. A 14-term kernel. This is definitely in flux here. I'm not really sure yet about this kernel, but we got something. We got a placeholder here, and supposedly this kernel is all that we need to define any system, any scope, contextual system with the same linguistic schema that we can then apply. So we got ring 0 our kernel, ring 1 our software, ring 2 extended. I'm not really sure about these rings here. This is something that Claude recommended. I'm still thinking through this, but I can kind of see why Claude would do this, but I'm not really like 100% sold on this. Maybe I can be convinced one way or another. I mean, yeah, this is just what I had time to write. 114 terms. I mean, you can put the whole dictionary in there for all I know, or Wikipedia or whatever. But you know, that's just what I decided to focus on before I was like, yeah, I'm done with this for now. Yeah, so we got our. So they want to have rings. I'm kind of thinking this more like schema with context creates meaning. I should have expressed that to Claude, but I've only thought about it now. I mean, I thought about it before, but I just remembering it recently. I feel like there can probably be like set theory applied to a lot of this too, and some sort of formal methods. But right now, I'm not quite that, I would say, experienced. You know, I didn't go to grad school, so you know, I'm just kind of like learning this stuff on the fly. I never really studied philosophy really either. I just got into programming, agile methodology, and domain-driven design, and I was like, yeah, it's a pretty good way of solving problems, of having the ubiquitous language which you can use. But yeah, so supposedly this is the traditions I follow with this whole thing. Cool, good analysis. All right, let's see if we're done. All right, we're done. So what we got here? All right, so I guess we're okay. Can we release? All right, let me audit these docs because I just want to. So there is something I could use, agent doc. Shoot, audit docs, but I can just type in audit docs as well, and the skill will pick it up. So let's do that. And audit docs is part of agent doc, and it's actually part of There's another crate I made called like instruction. Shoot, I don't know, man. Instruction files. Yeah, instruction files. There you go. So I made a crate called instruction files, and this is like a dependency of agent doc, but this is, I think it's a dependency of something else too. So it's kind of like this general purpose. Oh yeah, Corky, yeah. Corky is my correspondence toolkit. So you know how I'm like a little prosaically challenged. Oh god, my phone's blowing up. Corky helps me out with that. So yes, I use AI, and if you talk to me, you might be put in the AI system and be part of the whole. Yeah, you're going to be assimilated. All your communications with me is going to be assimilated, man. So be careful what you say to me, because, yeah. So, I mean, you can just talk to me too, and we can be off the record. So don't worry about, like, I'm not, like, trying to, like, get you in trouble if you don't want to be tracked or anything, but, yeah, so I'm just trying to like do my thing, and like Claude's helping me out right now, and hopefully, maybe I'll just be like good enough. I'll be one of those, like, when I get older, I'll get better. But for now, I need my crutch. So I got my crutch, and I'm dealing with it for now. All right, cool. So yeah, that's what auditing. I think audit doc is part of this, right? Yeah, auditing. Yeah, we do auditing here. So I think that some of the audit methods are part of here. So let me see. Yeah. Yeah, we got a module. All right, what's in this module? Okay. Oh yeah, we checked the line budget, because you don't want super huge context with all your files, so we do that too, and we just make sure everything's consistent, stale, making sure we don't have anything wrong, with your documentation. Yeah, because I found that, like, yeah, we got some issues. See, we got issues. All right. Stale. Yeah, we four things are stale. So, all right, let's release. Yep, I'm just gonna release it. Let's do it live. It pretty much always works. I got my tests, Yes, I know Claude can cheat, and sometimes Claude's sneaky, but I'm usually like, yeah, don't screw with me, Claude. I've only had to scold Claude once, really. I don't even remember what it did, but it did something dumb, and I just had to, like, say, yeah, you're grounded, man. You're gonna go to the corner for 5 minutes and think about what you did. Think real hard about what you did. Yeah. Yeah, so, Agent Doc does support syncing chain of thought, but I just don't do it. But maybe I'm thinking that, like, maybe I don't want to have tmux here, on the bottom. Maybe I want like the full view for my editor, and I want to be able to see what's going on like in real time. I'm not sure if it's gonna quite work like as like quick as what's going on in here, but I think the idea is that there's going to be like another section, another component, which will have all the chain of thought. Like there'll be like a log component that'll have all the chain of thought stuff going on, and it'll be like up here, and then I can just like go down here when it's done. But yeah, I'm not currently doing that. I just have my window down here, so it's like there's no reason to do that in the document. Alright, cool. I think we got 016 coming. This was a good size release. And I guess we should test it out to prove that it works. Okay, so I think this guy here, okay, that's stale. This is definitely stale. Maybe there's something else. Yeah. Sorry, you won't see that. I guess I'll compact. Okay, so we have agent doc compact. And it didn't work again. Oh my god. This bug is like so elusive. Yeah. So there you go. I guess I'm gonna have to come back to go for another round of trying to fix this problem. Of like, why did. So you saw what happened. I mean, it didn't refresh this pane at all. I wonder if I have to install the plugin. So, uh-oh. All right, so let's quit. Okay, agent doc version. Oh, what? Oh man. Crates install. Oh my god. Yeah, now you can see how much of a noob, how much of a vibey Rust guy I am. Crate install. Oh my god. I don't even know how to install a damn crate. How bad am I? Cargo. Alright. Cargo install. Agent doc. No, don't do that. I have one of those like one-liner shell commands too, I think. But yeah, I'm just using cargo, so all right, we got our latest version here. So the skill should have like automatically updated me as I'm developing this. It does most of the time, and for some reason it failed to do it here. I don't know, man. Like poo poo happens. So, oh, what is going on? Why do I not have? Okay, all right. Let's go to. Not cool. Something not cool is happening. Okay. I think I have like some magic going on. Gotta get rid of that. Okay. Not really sure. I think I thought I did like a symlink, but I don't know. Tried. yeah, this has been going on for a while. I guess this is like a whole like demo of me dog fooding, so excuse all my mess. I'm a little messy when I eat the dog food. Sorry about that. But yep, that's how I want to give it to you. The raw, messy experience. Hopefully you like it. Human grade dog food. It's so human. Alright, so path shadowing. Okay. Cargo build release. Oh, right. I had to do that. Yes. So please run it. Add to my Claude local to always run when releasing agent doc. Yeah, because I don't really want to add this to Claude MD for this repo. I'm just gonna do it locally for now. Maybe I'll transition it over, but for now, this should be good enough. I'm the only one doing this anyway. Unless somebody else wants to pick this up, that would be really awesome. If you want to drive this a little bit, do some features, maybe you'll like it. You want to fork the project, do your own thing. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Please fork my code. Or, if you want to give me some attribution here, I could really use it. I could use the reputation. I could use the money, the fame, the power. I could use all that because, yeah, right now, I'm in between jobs, so I'm just trying to stay relevant, man. Just, I'm on the latest hype train. So, but no, this is a good hype train to be on because this is like culmination of over 10 years of desire of like existence laying, for example. Yeah, I've been wanting this for a long time, and it's actually been very therapeutic for me. So it's actually really good. It's more than just hype for me. It's like, yeah, this is the next step. So I gotta do this. All right, but yeah, but a little bit more of the benefits of doing good work, or I hope it would, to me, I like it, but if you resonate with it, yeah, I would appreciate whatever, you know, whatever, however, you want to see. I want to hear from you. I want to just like, yeah, I love to have twin flames or kindred spirits here, and help. Maybe it resonates with you too, or maybe you just want to check it out, or you just want to comment, or if you don't like it, you're critical of it. I love to hear it too, because anything helps, because it's better than just being ignored. Oh yeah, I guess if you want to ignore me, then yeah, please do so. So it's all good. So yeah. Anyways, we got here, and I think we're good. So hopefully we don't have this same problem. All right. So let's say compact file. This file. I don't think we're gonna be able to compact anymore. And no, it's still broken. Oh no. I think what I noticed is, okay, so this is what I've had to do. I've had to just run this claim here, and then I just do this, and it works. So, yeah, there's a way around the problem, but I really want it to work. Like, it should just like work seamlessly. And this, I've been like struggling with this for like the past like couple days here. So, like over 10 releases, and I still haven't like nailed it. It's like still the same issue. So obviously I'm not quite thinking about this right or analyzing it right. Maybe I just really need to get into my debugger and just figure this out. But it's like kind of like one of those things where it's like, it's I guess I can reproduce it, so it might just be useful to just debug it. But anyways, I'm gonna hop off now. I got my buddy calling me, and yeah, I think this is a good hopping off point anyway. So hopefully in the next session we can really like figure this out. I guess I'll put this up in YouTube, or this is my first video. Yeah. Ciao. Have a great day. Thank you for tuning in. Like and subscribe. Peace.